Hi guys, now we are going to discuss about JEE Advanced 2020 Mathematics Paper 1. Okay, let us see it. Section 1, single correct answer type. Number of questions 6. For correct answer plus 3, for wrong answer minus 1. Okay, the question 1 is, suppose A comma B denote the distinct real roots of the quadratic polynomial x square plus 20x minus 20 equal to 0. C and D denote the distinct complex roots of the quadratic polynomial x square minus 20x plus 20 equal to 0. Then find the value of this expression, that is AC into A minus C plus AD of A minus D plus BC of B minus C plus BD of B minus D. These are the options. Only one is correct. Now given equations are x square plus 20x minus 20 equal to 0, where a comma b are real roots of this equation. Second equation is x square minus 20x plus 20 equal to 0, where c comma d are complex roots of the equation. So sum of the roots a plus b is equal to minus 20. Product of the roots a into b is equal to minus 20. Again here sum of the roots c plus d is equal to 20. cd is equal to 20. Now the expression is, what is given there? AC into A minus C plus AD into A minus D plus BC into B minus C plus BD into B minus D is equal to, now just multiply A square C minus AC square. For second one, A square D minus AD square plus B square C minus BC square plus last one, B square D minus BD square. Okay, on direct multiplication we got this. Now from these two, A square can be taken out common, C plus D. Again from these two, B square can be taken out common, B square of C plus D. Okay. Again from second and fourth, minus A common, C square plus D square. From remaining terms, minus BC square minus BD square, minus B common here. We are having C square plus D square. Again, from first two terms, C plus D common, we are having now C plus D of A square plus B square. From last two terms, we are having minus A plus B of C square plus D square. Okay, it is the final expression. Now we can use the C plus D value 20 and A plus B value minus 20, and A square plus B square is nothing but A plus B whole square minus 2AB. Now C plus D value is 20, A square plus B square is nothing but A plus B whole square minus 2AB. Again A plus B value is minus 20, so we are getting plus 20 here. C plus D whole square minus 2CD. Substitute the values of A plus B and AB, C plus D and CD. On simplification we are getting 16,000. That is option D correct. Fourth option is correct. It is easy question. Okay, easily can be solvable. Now let us see second question. Now the question number 2 is, if the function f maps R to R is defined by f of x is equal to mod x into x minus sin x, then which of the following is true? Option A, f is 1 1 but not on 2. Option B, f is on 2 but not 1 1. Option C, f is both 1 1 and on 2. Option D, f is neither 1 1 nor on 2. This is from functions. Okay. Of course, we have to use now monotonicity also, differentiability. Okay, let us solve it. Clearly f is here odd function. Okay, and also f of 0 is 0. Clearly f is here odd function because f of minus x is equal to modulus of x minus x plus sin x is equal to minus f of x, implies f is an odd function. Of course it is not periodic. Okay, so it is symmetric about the origin. Graph of the function is symmetric about origin. Okay, now f of x is equal to, for x less than 0, modulus of x is minus x, so minus x into x minus x square plus x sin x. For x more than or equal to 0, it is x into x, x square minus x sin x. So it is now piecewise defined function. And also clearly f of 0 is equal to 0, f of 0 minus c is 0, f of 0 plus c is 0. So it is clearly continuous. F of 0 minus is equal to f of 0 equal to f of 0 plus is equal to 0. So clearly f is continuous at x equal to 0. So we can differentiate. Now I am taking only x positive case. Okay, afterwards we can see negative case. So being it is continuous function, you now differentiate this 2x, apply UV rule, x into cos x minus sin x. Now adjust this x minus sin x plus x of 1 minus cos x, both are same. Okay, again because x plus x 2x, next x into cos x minus x cos x, next again minus sin x. So 2x minus x cos x minus sin x can be written as x minus sin x plus x into 1 minus cos x. So clearly x minus sin x is always positive. For x positive, sin x less than x, you know already the result. So it is positive or 0. This is also positive or 0. So finally, derivative is more than or equal to 0 for all x belongs to closer to 0 to infinity. So let me write here. Derivative is more than or equal to 0 for all x more than or equal to 0. So clearly f is a strictly increasing function from 0 onwards. So it is a graph of the function f of x. From 0 onwards it is a strictly increasing function, so because we got it already. And also f is an odd function. So compulsory it is symmetric about the origin. Symmetric about the opposite quadrants. So it is always strictly increasing function. So the range is here minus infinity comma infinity. Okay, extreme down to extreme up. So what is the codomain here? Codomain are ranges are. So f is clearly onto. And also by horizontal line test, clearly f is 1 1. So final answer is f is both 1 1 and onto. So option C is correct. Now question number 3 from areas. Okay, that is let the function f maps R to R and G maps R to R are defined by f of x is equal to e to the power of x minus 1 minus e to the power of minus modulus of x minus 1 and g of x is equal to half into e power x minus 1 plus e to the power of 1 minus x. Then find the area of the region in the first quadrant bounded by the curves y equal to f of x, y equal to g of x and x equal to 0. Okay, these are the options. 2 minus root 3 plus 1 by 2 into e minus e inverse. 2 plus root 3 plus half into e minus e inverse. Option C, 2 minus root 3 plus half into e plus e inverse. Option D is 2 plus root 3 plus half into e plus e inverse in the square units. Now f of x is equal to 0 for x less than 1, because modulus of x minus 1 is minus of x minus 1 for x less than 1, therefore it is 0. Again x more than or equal to 1, e power x minus 1 minus e to the power of 1 minus x. Again it is piecewise defined function now. G of x is already know e power x minus 1 plus e to the power of 1 minus x by 2. Okay. What about the derivative of this part? Suppose if you take this one, e power x minus 1, e power 1 minus x, for x more than or equal to 1, e to the power of x minus 1 plus e power 1 minus x, which is positive always, because being it is exponential function, always positive, so strictly increasing function from 1 onwards. So graph can be drawn 0 to, we are having the first quadrant, let me take from 0 onwards. So 0 to 1 is 0, from 1 onwards it is increasing function. Okay. Okay, it is a graph of the function from 0 onwards. Again it is, let us take g of x now, differentiate it, derivative 1 by 2 into e power x minus 1 minus e to the power of 1 minus x, take it 0 for maximum and minimum. So we are getting x is equal to 1 on simplification. So 1 is the critical point. And also for less than 1 it is the derivative is negative. For more than 1 derivative will be positive. So graph of the function you can draw like this up to 1 again. It is y is equal to g of x. Okay. Now we can draw both the graphs of y is equal to f of x and y is equal to g of x. Okay. Now P is the point of intersection of these two graphs. Okay, solving these two. So f of x is equal to g of x. F of x is e power x minus 1 minus e to the power of 1 minus x, because after 1 is equal to g of x is already known. So on solving we are getting x is equal to 1 plus ln root 3. So it is 1 plus ln root 3. So it is the area. Okay. So how to find this? 0 to 1 only gx. So 1 by 2 into e to the power of x minus 1 plus e to the power of 1 minus x dx. Okay. Second part, 1 to this point, 1 to 1 plus ln root 3. So upper curve minus lower curve. Upper curve is g of x. What is g of x? 1 by 2 e power x minus 1 plus e to the power of 1 minus x minus lower curve. Lower curve is f of x. So that is e to the power of x minus 1 minus e to the power of 1 minus x. Okay, dx. So finally you are getting. So on integrating we are getting 2 minus root 3 plus 1 by 2 into a minus e inverse. Option A is correct. Okay, very lengthy problem. Now fourth question is, let a, b, lambda belong to R plus. That is, there are three positive real numbers. Suppose capital P is an end point of the lattice rectum of the parabola y square equal to 4 lambda x. And suppose the ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1 passes through the point P. Okay. Next, if the tangents to the parabola and the ellipse at P are perpendicular to each other, then find the eccentricity of the ellipse. Okay. Option A 1 by root 2, option B 1 by 2, option C 1 by 3, option D 2 by 5. Okay. This is from conics. Now this is a diagram. We have drawn ellipse and parabola. X equal to lambda is the lattice rectum. Okay. Now P is the endpoint of the lattice rectum. So automatically that is lambda comma 2 lambda. Ellipse is passing through the point capital P. Okay. Now what is given there? Tangents to the parabola and ellipse are mutually perpendicular at the point P. Then find the eccentricity of the ellipse. Okay. Now let me take parabola equation y square equal to 4 lambda x. Now differentiating with respect to x, 2y y dash equal to 4 lambda. So y dash equal to 2 lambda by y. Substitute the point P. So that is we are getting 1. So M1 is the slope of a tangent of parabola at the point P. Next, we take ellipse equation x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. What is the equation of tangent at the point P? X1 by 1. That is S1 equal to 0. So xx1 by a square plus y by 1 by b square minus 1 equal to 0. Substitute the point again lambda comma 2 lambda. We are getting x lambda by a square plus y 2 lambda by b square minus 1 equal to 0. So slope equal to minus lambda by a square by 2 lambda by b square. So finally I am getting minus b square by 2a square. It is M2. Okay. So M1 into M2 must be minus 1. The product of the slopes of the tangents must be equal to minus 1 because they are perpendicular. So apply M1 into M2 minus 1. We are getting a square by b square is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, finally E value is root of 1 minus a square by b square. Okay, that is 1 by 2. 1 by root 2. Okay. Option A is correct. Now question number 5, that is from probability. Let C1 and C2 be two biased coins such that the probability of getting head in a single toss are 2 by 3 and 1 by 3 respectively. Suppose alpha is the number of heads that appear when C1 tossed twice independently, and beta is the number of heads that appear when C2 tossed twice independently. Then the probability that the roots of the quadratic polynomial x square minus alpha x plus beta are real and equal is option A 40 by 81, option B 20 by 81, option C 1 by 2, option D 1 by 4. Now look here, P of H is equal to 2 by 3, P of T is equal to 1 by 3 for C1. That is probability of getting head is 2 by 3, probability of getting tail 1 by 3 for C1. Okay, next similarly, P of H is equal to 1 by 3, P of T is equal to 2 by 3 for C2, second point. And also given that quadratic polynomial x square minus alpha x plus beta equal to 0 has real and equal roots, so delta equal to 0, we are getting alpha square equal to 4 beta. So you have to find the probability to satisfy this condition. Okay. Now alpha 2 beta 1 is the first case. Case 1, alpha is equal to 2 beta 1 will satisfy this equation. So for that probability is by binomial distribution 2c2 into 2 by 3 whole square, because the two heads for alpha into, because they are independent cases, 2c1 because only one head, 2c1 into 1 by 3 into 2 by 3. So multiply all these, we are getting 4 by 9 into 4 by 9 is equal to 16 by 81. It is case 1. Next case 2, one more case is there, alpha equal to 0, beta equal to 0. So number of heads 0 here, number of heads 0 for second case, second point. So P is equal to 2c naught 1 by 3 whole square for alpha. Again 2c naught into 2 by 3 whole square. Okay. So finally I am getting 1 by 9 into 4 by 9 is equal to 4 by 81. So total probability you can add from 1 and 2, because either case 1 or case 2. R means addition. So 16 by 81 plus 4 by 81. We are getting 20 by 81 is the correct answer. That is option B correct. Okay. Now sixth one is consider all rectangles lying in the region. Set of all x comma y belong to R cross R such that x lies between 0 and pi by 2 and y lies between 0 and 2 sin 2x, and having one side on the x axis then the area of the rectangle which has the maximum perimeter among all such a rectangles is, okay, option A 3 pi by 2, option B pi, option C pi by root 2 root 3, option D pi root 3 by 2 square units. Now draw the graph of y is equal to 2 sin 2x. Okay. Next, I have drawn rectangle such that one side lies on the x-axis. Okay, in the first quadrant. Now capital A, B, C, D, okay, are the vertices of the rectangle. Let capital A is alpha comma 0, capital B beta comma 0. C will be corresponding output beta comma 2 sin 2 beta. D will be alpha comma 2 sin 2 alpha. Okay. Therefore, compulsory 2 sin 2 beta must be equal to 2 sin 2 alpha because D and C are symmetric about x equal to pi by 4. Therefore, 2 sin 2 alpha must be equal to 2 sin 2 beta to get the maximum area of the maximum perimeter. Okay. So, sin 2 alpha is equal to sin 2 beta. 2 alpha is equal to pi minus 2 beta. Alpha is equal to pi by 2 minus beta. Say it is 1. Equation 1. Now, perimeter of the rectangle is equal to 2 into L plus B. So, 2 into what is the length here? AB. Suppose beta minus alpha plus breadth is 2 sin 2 beta. Again, alpha is pi by 2, alpha is pi by 2 minus beta. So 2 into beta minus pi by 2 plus beta plus 2 sin 2 beta because alpha is pi by 2 minus beta. So we are getting finally P is equal to 4 beta minus pi plus 4 sin 2 beta. So differentiate this one to get maximum perimeter. So P dash equal to 4 plus 4 cos 2 beta into 2. Okay. P double dash cos derivative minus sin 2 beta into 2. It is second derivative. Okay. Now take T dash equal to 0 for maximum perimeter. You will get beta value. Now P dash equal to 0 for maximum or minima. So we are getting 1 plus 2 into cos 2 beta is equal to 0. So cos 2 beta is equal to minus 1 by 2. Finally I am getting beta is equal to 60 degrees. From 1, equation 1, alpha is 30 degrees. Also P double dash will be negative. Whenever beta is 60 degrees, P double dash will be negative. So maximum perimeter will occur. So finally area is equal to L into B. The length is beta minus alpha, breadth is 2 sin 2 beta for the rectangle. So beta minus alpha is pi by 6, 2 into sin 120 degrees. Finally I am getting pi root 3 by 2 square units. Okay.